stand it anymore. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Please, let me handle this.
I gotta get out.
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you run on the phone. Everything's gonna be all right.
Sit down. I'll handle this.
I gotta get out of here. Out of here. Gotta get out of here.
Hey, good morning. What the hell? Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
I gotta get out of here.
Well, it was funny, but it ain't funny enough to watch twice. And oh yeah, by the way, I don't have an editor, so when I do screw-ups like that, unless I delete the whole video and just don't do one for the day, there's going to be some hiccups from time to time, so I apologize about that. Hey, good morning. Happy pre-turkey day for all you U.S. peoples. And good morning to everybody else. Hey, started off that, whoops, my goodness gracious. I'm off today. And I usually, again, just so that y'all know what's going on, I usually will do these when I'm having my morning coffee, when I'm getting ready to go to work, or in the evening when I get home from work, if I work the evening shift. But I ain't going to ever do a video just because, hey, I ain't doing a video. I need to be doing something because I got other shit to do, and I know that you guys do too. So anyway, I just want to, whenever I have something I want to share with you, I'm gonna do it right away. So some of you out there are probably wondering, what the hell, DashGreen? Oh my God. I woke up this morning and had gone to the bathroom, and I looked at it and went, oh my goodness, it took a pretty big nosedive overnight. What happened? Okay, so first of all, don't be freaking out, lady. Like on the airplane there, we're going to have to calm you down, and you saw how they calm people down. But hang on, let's see what happened. So last night, everything was good. We were chitting, we were chatting, and in the Chico Telegram group, and we were talking about a whole lot of stuff, and then I was transferring some sales over to buy some more Elastos, which I did basically all day yesterday. Transfer, sell, transfer, buy, transfer. Rinse, lather, repeat. I did that all night long. But what happened after I went to bed? Well, all right, so let's take a look. There it is at 3:22 in the morning. Everything a little bit down, some orders spilled. Everything's going good, and look right there. 3:38, somebody dumped a whole 1 point, or is that 3? Yeah, 1.38 coins. It's a dump. Nah, guys, the problem is this. We got impatient people. Like I was telling you, even if you do what you're supposed to be doing, you got people that are stupid and they just want to watch the world burn, as Alfred told Batman, right? Actually, I don't even know if it's anything other than just sometimes stupidity, but you take a look and there's a pretty big difference there between the bid and the ask, and when somebody going to sell should have just put them there. They got impatient because the order didn't get filled in the first 15 seconds. They put it on the blocks. It was 20% lower than it was the day before. Oh my God, everything's going to hell in a handbasket. So dump. But again, it wasn't even really a dump if you take a look here. So, 35. Oh my God. And then were there people that started selling? Yeah. Were some of them because, well, they're just stupid and they were dumping? Yeah, probably. When you start seeing some of those bigger numbers come in there. And then by the time my coffee was ready, all of a sudden it's starting to climb back up. So is DashGreen back on the, is it a buy list? I don't know, man. You got to crunch the numbers. I'll tell you this. There was still no pre-sale. There's still a sexy. We're not even into the meat of the orders of the rewards block schedule yet, because the rewards blocks that are on right now are on for the next year. Let me say that again. The reward blocks that are being paid right now are good for the next year. All right? So calm the fuck down. Relax. Everything's cool. But that's why it happened. Now on that front yesterday, or maybe the day before, hell, damn near maybe every time, I told you, hey, treat this as a business. Now, what the heck do I mean? Hang on a sec. I had to put you on the wall for a second. Sorry. All right. Market trades. There we go. Treat this like a business. Now, again, if you have a certain amount of sales that you're supposed to get before the end of the month to make your month for bonus purposes, you got to know where you're at. You got to know where you're going. You got to have a roadmap, or you're just a dude walking down the street, right? How do you do that? Let's say that now these are market trades, but let's say that this is what showed up under the My Trades thing, if this was yours. So if you say, Scott, I ain't got that kind of time. I have these sales. I got all these sales. How am I supposed to track? How am I supposed to track all this and know where I'm at? Well, again, hey, if you got sloppy business practice, you got sloppy business. So you need to make sure that you're looking, again, this is your business. So you want to be looking at how you're going to keep your business online. So here's what I do. Number one, maybe you get yourself a piece of a legal pad, and you just keep a running total on what you got, on what you've sold, how much you got into it, what you've sold, and then you do your gazintos, as Jethro used to say, on the Beverly Hillbillies. And people that are in other countries, Beverly Hillbilly, that was a show back in the 60s and the 70s, but gazintos, that's, 2 goes into 8 4 times, 4 goes into 16 4 times. It's just basic math. And let's face it, man, if you're keeping track of this many sales, that's so laborious. I mean, I see why it'd be easy to say, fuck that, and just not do it, right? But let me show you an easy way to do it. If you've got Excel, or I guess you don't do Lotus anymore, do they? But if you've got Excel on your computer, or some kind of worksheet formula, do this. Now I'm going to try to do this with one hand. But do this. Let's say that these were what you did today. These are all your sales today. Here's what I do. I'm going to highlight all this right here. And I don't know if my camera is still on it, because what I'm doing here is really tough with one hand. Hey, check me out. All right, so here's what I do. I highlight all my sales that I may have had for that day, and I'm going to just highlight them. I'm going to copy them. And then I'm going to come over here to Excel, and I'm going to do just a blank worksheet. Now, if you already know how to do this, I apologize. I'm going to try to do it fast. But if you don't know how to do this, you need to learn how to do this, I think. But come over here to a blank worksheet, and everything that you just copied over yonder, you're going to come over here, and you're just going to paste it right there. You got a big bunch of gobbledygook, right? All right, so I'm trying to do this looking through the screen on the camera. So anyway, you're going to, here for a while, you're going to, what are all these numbers? All right, so when you come back over here and, let's see, can I do that? Yeah, I can. All right, cool. All right, so here's these numbers. Here's those numbers. I just copied them and just pasted them right there. Now, if you need to, you figure out, okay, it's the second column. All right, but again, once you do it a couple times, you'll know, and this is how you keep track of it. So I come over here, and here's all these numbers here, and I happen to know that is talking about number of coins that were sold. Now I can go through with a calculator, and I can add them all up one by one, but now that we know what that is, let me get a bigger picture here. I already know what it is one by one. So I'm going to come over here, and you see this button here that says, where the hell are you? Auto sum. Right there. You're going to click on that. Now, since I had the cursor here, it's going to say, hey, it kind of defaults here. You want me to add all these numbers up? Well, yes, I do. That's all you got to do. You do that, and it adds it all up. You hit enter, and look at that. That number represents all of these numbers. All right, we're going to do the exact same thing here. Same thing. Come up here, hit that auto sum button. You want me to add these numbers together? Well, yes, I do. All right, so now we got that number and that number. What does that tell us? Well, that tells us how many coins we sold. That tells us accumulatively in Bitcoin how much we got. Now, I don't know about you, and I understand the Bitcoin to cash conversion, but I really, at my age, maybe you guys can see it at your younger age if you're younger than I am, but for me, one of the big switcheroos coming into crypto was being able to think in 8 decimal places. And I got to come over, and there, there's that page on CoinMarketCap where you can go to the tools, and there's a currency converter, and you can convert anything you want. You can say, hey, how many Switchio is 1 Neo worth? You can go down, and it's a pretty good translator, but this is what I'd like to do. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to hit this auto sum button one more time. Now, what I want to know here is, because I want to know how much, what's the average price? Instead of going through all these and doing my gazintos, what's the lazy man's way? What was my price? I know I sold that 3,800, but what was my price? So I hit the sum. Now this time you can see it's trying to add these two numbers together. That ain't what we want to do. I'm going to take the total revenue divided by, which is the slash key, or is that a backslash key? I always get those spec'd up. The shared key with the question mark, but without hitting the shift. All right. So I got that, and I want to divide it by how many I bought. I do that. So if you look here, it's got this sale divided by that sale. That's what we want, right? And then you get, when you hit enter, oh my God, letters. How the hell are there letters in our numbers? Well, because there's so many decimal spots, the computer goes, help me with this, man. I don't get it. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're going to hit this numbers thing. And you're going to tell it, you know what, just give me regular numbers. And you know what? Because in crypto, they use this silly 8-digit. All right. So now I know that I sold 3,800 coins for that much Bitcoin. And when I divide it all out, it comes out to this much per coin that I sold on the average, right? So we're taking the average. You can see that the volume is different on different ones. So obviously that 630 coin sale, when we do the averages, is going to count more than that one that was just 17 coins, right? So we want to know the overall, or as close to what is possible, right? So we know now that we sold an average of this. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go over to Blockfolio, and you're going to go into your transactions, and you're going to switch it to sell, and you're going to say, all right, you're going to fill in the blank. Say, I sold that many at that price, and then hit save, and then when you go back in, it's going to show you in dollars and cents what that equates to. Now you can do it however you do it. This is just how I do it, and if there's a dummies version of anything out there, I'm always going to try to use the dummies version because, well, I'm a dummy, number one, and I'm lazy, number two. But can't let laziness get in the way of business, right? What do we got to do? If this is our business, we got to stay on top of it all the time. So where the hell are we? Well, when you plug that in, it's going to tell you exactly how much it was in dollars and cents that you sold. So until I break even I keep track. Now you can do it however you want. I had it laid out the way that I wanted to. So let me just show you an example here. All right, so this is Three Stooges coin. And no, there's no Three Stooges coin. This is for example purposes only, all right? And how I have it laid out is simple. First, you lay it out how you want it. Maybe your vision of what you need to track is different. So anyway, I've got the date, the name of the coin, how much I originally put in, an ongoing sales tally sheet, and then my break-even point. Now, my break-even point is how much I originally put in minus the total sales. And how I have it set up, remember that auto sum button? Well, how I have this set up is this point right here, this green square. The formula there is, hey, give me a running total of everything I put in this column. And in the break even, I use that auto sum, and I said, hey, tell me what this minus this is, so I know to the moment what my break even point is to get out of this project. Now again, what you do when you get your rewards, the first thing you want to do before you worry about a second Masternode and a third Masternode, I've said it in a couple of videos, Tyler said it over the weekend. First thing you're going to do with any Masternode project before you worry I'm sorry, man, I lost my train of thought, and that's a short fucking train. Oh, sorry, all right. The first thing you're going to worry about before anything, whether you be talking about a second Masternode, whether you talk about this, whether you talk about that, unless the price just skyrockets, and you say, all right, let me jump. Hello, Masternode reward. All right, unless you're going to just jump out of it. I want to know exactly where I'm at, because then I can say, all right, now it's paid off. Now I can decide whether or not I want to move to another project, or whether or not I'm just going to use it to print money. But until you get there, it doesn't much matter at all. All right. So again, treat it like a business. Know what your break-even point is. Don't be freaking out, person. Hey, again, back to it. Is dark green coin a buy right now? Well, if I was going to listen to some old geezer sitting in his garage talking about Masternodes and talking about crypto, I'd put a question mark next to that. However, if I was you, would I go and do your research on that, whether or not it makes sense? I would. But again, that's me. All right, so do that with any project. Anyway, by the way, it has jumped backed up to where it was last night and the day before. No, not yet, but it will, because again, nothing's changed. Still wasn't a pre-sale. Still in the sweet reward zone. Still in the meat of the order. I'd say it's sexier now than when you saw Tyler's first video, but again, that's me. Whenever we ask for suggestions on what you're in and what you ain't in, and I ain't throwing any particular person under the bus because I can't remember who it was anyway, but inevitably, because they're very good marketing, there's one project that always comes up, and hey, check this out. Now again, I want our station, and when we get this set up, where we have just a private part of the room where we can sit over here and talk about this particular small portion of your portfolio. Does the numbers make sense? But when this ain't about coming in and trying to pimp what you're in. This is about sharing for the community so we can all have some information and take a look at it and make up our own mind. So now I'm going to tell you, for me personally, the one that always comes up, let me, I guess, finish one sentence where I start the next. One that always comes up is this Bitcoin Incognito. Now, I've seen since the first couple of times people have mentioned it and And I believe this is the one that Tyler said, yeah, it's pump and dump, stay away from it. But even if he hadn't said that, and again, I told you I usually don't look at what a project does or what this is, at least in the first 85% of when I'm trying to vet whether or not it looks like a project to go in. I just crunch the numbers. Now, do I think this is one? Well, no, Tyler gave it a thumbs down. I want to say, and I could be wrong, but this Bitcoin Incognito, was this like the second ZCL fork? Or was this the one that was a fork of Hexcoin? Can't remember, but if it's even loosely related to either one of those, I would stay away from it. But let's say that we don't know any of that shit. Let's just look at it using our criteria. Let's take a look at it using that and that alone. We are currently in block 278,939. Now here is their block reward schedule, and you can see that, which puts us here. That's where we are right now, and really just started that portion of it. What are we looking at? Well, was it a good play at one time if we were using our criteria? Yeah, look at that. It was up. It went from 1 to 22, and then to 16, and then to 17, and then right now it just dropped to 8.5. So is this a good time to get into this project? Not at this price, number one. And for me personally, not at the current block reward that we're in. So and I share that not to, and again, I can't remember who it is that keeps talking about, hey, if yours is paid off and it's working, well then peace on, rock on, brother. You're in a better place. But if you're just looking to come in, I think there's a prettier girl at the dance that I would ask to go dance than that one right there. But again, that's me. You do you. But any of these, remember, any of these that are in this particular ball game, any of these are going to be risky projects to begin with. So I guess my question that I would have to ask is, if these things are in that big of a question to begin with, why would you get into one that you already know you're handicapped on at this point in time from Jump Street? But again, hey, that's me. You do you. And I wish you the best of luck, and I wish everybody here in America happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. I guess you Canadians, if there's any of those here, yours is in a different month. Was it a month ago or something? Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving. And anybody anywhere else across the globe, if it's just tomorrow for you, or in some places, I guess, if tomorrow is just another day, well then, hey, happy Thursday. But it ain't no time to freak out. It's not a time to panic. And while that number did take a scary looking nosedive overnight, that doesn't really concern me at all. When I go back in, I look at the order book and I look into it just a little bit from what it looks like, not from what it looks like from the curb, but what it looks like from the front door. Well, then I think from the front door it looks just fine. But again, that's me. You do your research and see what it tells you. What was the other thing I wanted to share with you? Now I'm out of here. Or am I going to remember this at all? Oh, I don't know what it was. Somebody last night, again, I apologize. I can't remember who it was. Somebody last night was talking about this one right here, this Crux coin. I have not looked into this one. basically right now $1,000 to get in. Right now at the current price, so what, about 3.5 weeks before you break even? I don't know, man. I mean, just without going any further, I don't know. You may want to look into that one a little bit more. And again, if this is your pet project, I apologize. I ain't trying to throw it under the bus. I just want to make sure that we give good alerts out there. Oh, and then last thing, because I can't remember what the other thing was. So, yesterday I talked about this Masternode monitoring thing, and I touched on only a very small portion of what it does. And I need to come back and tell you here, yeah, it'll tell you how you're looking for the week, how the month, and all that other stuff. This is, I guess, the main reason why people use it, is because it will tell you in one place without you having to go check in numerous different places. This is a place where you can just do a quick check, make sure all your shit's online, make sure your wallet's online, make sure your Masternode is online. I know what the other thing I was going to tell you was, and then I really am done. I know I've said goodbye like 4 times already. You ever have those people in your life whenever it's always good to see them, it's always good to spend time with them, but every time that you try to leave, goodbyes take 45 minutes? I don't mean to be that guy, so I apologize for being that guy. The other one that we've been talking about the last couple of days, BitHost Coin. Now, again, I so want to love this project. I really liked it. But again, like I told you, my wallet and my Masternode have been offline for quite a while. And one thing that I told myself I need to get better at is circling back around to something that I may have already exited. If, again, to make sure, where was it on the rewards zone? If I got out of it for a particular reason, is that particular reason fixed yet? Well, they say the first step to getting better is admitting you got a problem after days of denying it in their Discord channel. And oh no, it's only a small amount of people. They finally came out and admitted it last night, because I told them in the forum, I told them, hey, I love your project and I'll be back maybe, but right now I can't afford to stay in your project, not when my Masternode is down 75% of the time and my wallet is off time. I was getting minting rewards, I was getting staking rewards, but I wasn't getting any Masternode rewards. So they finally admitted it last night. Hey, it's something we'll work on. We really appreciate it. So make sure that when you go into these Discord channels and their Twitter and everything, act like a human being. Don't just go in there and be FUD boy or be, going in and screaming and, using the 4-letter scam word. Ain't no sense in doing that. If it's somebody you don't like, a project you want to get away from, you don't know to go in and be that guy. Especially if it's something that you think you might circle around to. If they can just fix this one fucking thing. And in this one, it's actually a pretty important thing. It's get your Masternode where it's time and get my wallet where it's paying me. Otherwise, you're just another guy in the crowd. You ain't nothing to circle on the list. So they have admitted that they got an issue. They are looking into it. So is it something I'm going to keep on my radar to watch when I start seeing other people, not them, when I start seeing users, when I start seeing Masternode owners saying, all right, now your shit is fixed, then I'll come back to it. But, I don't know if I finished that part. I reckon I did. I guess I did, right? About the break-even point. So know where you're at. Know how much you got in sales. Oh, I know what I was going to say. When you get your rewards, again, don't save them up, do them once a week. Don't be the guy that's looking at building your second masternode until your first one's paid off. When you get your rewards, you get a pocket full of them. Go over there, sell a little here, sell a little there. That way, when you start moving stuff, you won't ever cause that big drop. Because if you got $1,300 in your pocket and you walk over to the exchange, you're going to be tempted. You're going to get impatient, and you're going to just dump them all down on the market. Do a little bit at a time. That way, if you do sell and you go down a little bit, you're not affecting the market overnight. Because again, especially if some of us are all in the same projects, you don't want to be fucking your buddy also. But hey, again, that one still looks sexy, I think. But know where you're at so you can get to where you want to go. And then when you take out your masternode rewards, where you're going to go, where do you put them now? Hell, at these prices, how do you not buy? Oh hell, throw a dart at the wall, man. It's pretty much anything in it. Pretty much everything's on sale. So know your plan, work your plan. The market's down, the longer it lasts, the better off you are. And again, while I know it's hard to look at the market and it being down and stay positive, but if you're doing a small portion of your portfolio in small cap masternodes, it's basically an opportunity to buy free stuff. Because let's come back over here. Again, this is what happens when my mind goes out to wander in the woods. At $1,500, because again, it's got to make sense, right? So let's take a look at it. $1,500, because you could have done this. You could have taken this $1,500 and not put it into a masternode. You could have come over and let's say that Elastos is your pet project. Well, what is Elastos selling for right now? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm sorry, I can't look at it on the phone because, well, my phone's in use right now. All right, so Elastos is 342. So we take that 1,500, we divide by 342. We got 438. So I could have taken that 1,500 and come over here and bought 438 Elastos. And then that money is spent, and then I'm right back into the watching the coins, needing the coin to rebound mode. Or, in this scenario, I took that 1,500, I bought this masternode. And to this point, if I've got $1,600 in sales, accumulatively, right? I'm going to take that $1,600, and then I'm going to go buy that Elastos, or whatever. Oh my God, how do you forget that fucking quick? 342. Now I've bought 179 Elastos. All right, so I'm ahead, right? Well, even more so, because guess what? Right now, we're only through, and again, this is an example, one I just made up. And in this example, oh shit, I went too far out. we went out a couple of days into the future. But, excuse me, the reason I think that this is a smarter thing, I could have taken that 1,500, made a one-time purchase. Instead, to this point, I've spent $1,600, so I got $114 more. I got a little more, in this case, a little more Elastos. And the rest of that calendar is open-ended. So even if that drops to a fraction of what the Three Stooges coin is paced now, let's say it drops to half of that price, I'm still getting, because the masternode's paid off. So every day I'm getting free rewards, which equals free Elastos, which equals free Bitcoin, which equals free Ethereum, free Neo, whatever it is that you want to do with that money. Or maybe it's free whatever, and you're also pulling some of that money out into the real world. Maybe you got real world shit going on right now. Who don't, right? So you use this to best put you in a good situation. What I did, I even took out, not only did I go in and reestablish some of those other positions,
I also pulled out 1/4 of my initial crypto investment altogether and turned it into real cash. Well, thank goodness I did that before the Bitcoin crash. But use this if it can't help you in the real world. And again, our goal is to turn this into future help in the real world. But right now, sometimes we just need a little love right now, right? Need a peck on the cheek, need a hug, need a pat on the back right now so you can take out a portion into the real world and then redirect that. And then guess what? We get to do this all over again. So, hello, Masternode Reward. So, anyway, maybe this makes sense. Maybe it's just me needing another part of that coffee pot. So, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make some money, make a profit, and look where you're going next. Damn. See, so much for that whole. Maybe if I have an outline or some notes, I can keep it shorter. So I can't. So y'all take care. Have a wonderful day, and have a wonderful tomorrow. Later.